Starting with the plain latex, I'm going in with a blue vein tone, and it's a temptu silicone paint. Using it in my airbrush, and I'm mottling over the designs and bringing out some contours, adding definition where I know it's going to need to be kind of a deep shadow later on. So this is kind of like a base layer, a background tone. And then using the excess products left over, I added more IPA to dilute it further, and a little bristle brush to sprinkle over the prosthetics. And then I've gone in with a lividity shade. This is by Skin Illustrator, and similar thing, mottling through the contours, adding veining, adding detail in depth. Again, this is just going to be a background kind of colour. So obviously the more layers you build up, like this is kind of the under layers. So yeah, it's kind of like the mottling and veining. So same as the step before, I just then added IPA and 99% into what was remaining after doing it with the airbrush, and then spraying over the areas, and also building up some of the spray areas in the contour areas as well. But in general, I like to put that all over just to try and counteract such a yellow latex colour base. But now I've actually gone in with some yellow kind of colour as well, using Temptu again, just another silicone product. And then I went in with a brown for kind of molding effect, and then now I'm doing skin tone, so whites, beiges, naturals, nudes. I think I used about 4 or 5 different skin tone shades, well, Caucasian pale skin tones. So that's just to go over what kind of layering's done there so far. So that's to bring the surface kind of colour. And then going in with the detail, I used a fresh blood tone, which in hindsight was probably a bit orangey. So then I went over with a dried blood one, which was a bit more browner and darker. And it helped bring in the contours in the depths. So that piece is like loads of faces sewn together. So that's why it needed a lot of this and a lot of work. I kind of stretching the latex at sometimes to get into the gaps. And I also coloured in the mouths or eyes of the faces. And then this is where I added the aged blood, dried blood. So it's a bit more darker. And then I was going in with like mottling effect and just making some areas look a bit messier. Didn't want it to look too neat. It is meant to be a horror kind of character. So now going in with a black, just to dirty it up, make it look darker. It is meant to be a horror character. And then there it is.